Okay, welcome to Caretech's Access Solutions for the Home. And so we've set up a showroom for the clients that you come down and actually try before they buy various products, which we'll show you very shortly. Now, this document M is actually a 60-page document, and I've managed to put it into about 20 lines. So take what I say, but in conjunction with the actual regulation. So a brief overview of document M building regulation. Approved document M provides information about the ease of access to and use of the buildings, including facilities for disabled visitors or occupants, and the ability to move through the building easily, including to toilets and to bathrooms. So the benefits for accessible and adaptable housing. As of 2016, there were 1.6 million people aged 85 and older. In the next 20 years, it's going to be projected to double that to 3.2 million. Offering older people a better choice of accommodation to suit their changing needs can help them live independently for longer, feel more connected to their communities, and help reduce costs for social care and health systems. Accessible and adaptable, sometimes called inclusive designed housing, seems to be the way that the government are actually promoting the new builds. They've got to be safe and convenient approaches to the actual home. And with regards to that, we have various types of ramps to actually get you into the house over thresholds, and also ramps for internal stairs, steps, etc., as well as portable ramps which you can take with you to get for your car, getting your wheelchairs and your scooters in and out of the cars. Inclusive design. You can help to create buildings and places that are for everyone. It helps break down unnecessary physical and psychological barriers and exclusions caused by the poor design of buildings and places. It is better to build accessible housing from the outset rather than making adaptations at a later stage, both in terms of cost and with regards to people being able to remain safe and independent in their homes. Now, I'm going to go through a little bit with regards to sizing and layouts of rooms, but very, very basic. And as I say, every house is different, and you'd have to take them on a case-by-case basis, but with the document M guidelines in mind. So if we can have the next, please. So approaches must be safe for disabled users, adopt the shallowest slope where needed, and step-free wherever possible. Minimum of 900 mm wide with a suitable non-slip surface. Ramps must be no more than 1 in 12 for 5 meters to 1 in 15 for 10 meters. And that does change as you go from meterage to meterage. But that is all in the document in spec anyway, which is available online, .gov. Just search it. Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, so when we come to a change of direction, up here we've got the platform, and that should be 1200 by 1200. These are made to measure, and again, we would have to actually come out and do a measurement for you to give you a quotation. If you haven't got the space, there are other options, most expensive being a step lift, but there are options where we can put small steps in with some thresholds on them. So it's case by case. We'll have to have a look. Next slide, please. And this is just another couple of different types of ramps which are available. We do keep ramps in stock here, so you can always come down and have a look and see what might be suitable for your particular case. So this is a bridging threshold which would get you over the doorway into the house. So that would be used, say, on a PVC type frame, which would just go straight over it. To bridge over the doorway threshold, unmatched level to finish, prevent stains and corrosion, provides ease of use, unique, comfortable carried handle with finger holes, rubber strips to prevent slipping and protect the floors. Excellent grippy surface, extremely lightweight and very quick to deploy, and made in the UK. All these products, these are the thresholds and the ramps are UK made. Entrance doors must be a minimum of 775 mm wide, 855 millimeters for the wheelchair user with an accessible threshold. So this is a particular threshold which is actually adjustable. So depending on the size of the threshold you need to get over, you can just adjust it. So it's fully adjustable in less than a minute. Blah blah blah. You can just read it. That's pretty much the same as the rest. So go to the next one, please. Thank you. Doors and hall widths. Oh, right, okay. Again, this is again another type of wedge ramp. 6 different sizes are available. Alternative to fiberglass wedge. Quite useful if you want to use them in a wet area. So if you've got a shower, for instance, that you're finding it difficult to step over, we can use these rubber mats to get your chair in there if necessary.
We even use one of these with the lifts, with one of the through floor lifts, so there's a slight lift. We use one of the rubber.
There you go.
Ramps up to get
there you go. Yeah.
Especially if it's self-propel, we've got some kind of big pole on the carpet. There's fine self-propel ones that use that 2-litre grip and get up on.
Yeah. A lot of the level access shower trays have a little lip, so that can be useful, especially if you've got a commode or a shower chair with solid tyres. You need to get it up and into the actual tray. So they're useful for that.
Come back, sorry. I'm bending down and
Okay, so hall widths should be 900 mil, 1.05 for wheelchair users. Minimum width for the doors should be 800, 850 for wheelchair users. Minimum width, no obstruction directly in the front of the door, such as a radiator. So if we're coming out into a hallway in a wheelchair, we've got 1.05. If we've then got a radiator in front of us, that's going to make it too narrow to get the turning circle. So try and bear in mind where you're going to place the radiators on a new build. Where there's 2 doors that meet, there should be 1500 millimeters between the 2 door swings. Again, that's for wheelchair to do a full circle. Move on, please. Bathrooms and WCs. Right, it should be located on the level as the principal bedroom and meet documented regulations. The level access shower may also be included if not provided elsewhere in the building. Do allow ceiling supports for overhead hoists and walls to support shower seats, grab rails, hand basins, etc. Now we have actually got in Caretech, we've got various ranges of overhead hoists which are here for people to come and have a look at anytime they wish. We've got mobile gantry systems which can be temporarily put in situ, all the way up to XY systems which will cover the full size area of the room. We do actually also do something from Reval, which I'd like Reeve just to quickly do a little demonstration of, which is the Reval Rubis. Yeah, so your design, I've said before, will depend on the layout of the property and should be assessed individually following the document and building regulation guidelines. We do also recommend that, if possible, get your builder or to speak with your occupational therapist and make sure what your design is going to be long term, so that if the client's condition is going to deteriorate, then it's hopefully going to be a long term. Yeah. Go to the next one, please. I've just put a little bit in there regards to changing places toilets. Standard accessible toilets do not meet the needs of people with disabilities. Over 250,000 people in the UK with a disability need extra equipment and space to allow them to use the toilet safely and comfortably. These needs are met by changing places toilets. Changing place toilets have been installed in all venues that hold over 350 people or with very high footfall. These include motorway services, supermarkets, shopping centres, hospitals, train stations and such like. Caretech supplies all the equipment necessary to meet the CTP standard, and we can obviously install as well.
So you do install design and fit for changing places, yeah?
We're not actually doing it for changing places at the moment, but we do complete bathroom, and we do bathrooms, we do extensions, we can do new builds. We do have a building company which is part of Caretech. It's all bolted on through me basically, and they're in the same building at the back there. So yep, moving forward. So bedrooms, they should have 750 mil clearance around the bed, 1200 for wheelchair users, clear access to the windows. Wheelchair users should have 1200 clear turning area inside the doorway. and make sure that ceiling wall structure is strong enough to take overhead hoists. Kitchens and dining, minimum of 1200 millimetres to 1500 millimetres for wheelchair users, gap between the kitchen units. That's from the side to side, not next to each other. Specialist kitchens are available to document M4-3. They will have cookers with controls at the front, adjustable height worktops, shell, specialist taps, and so on. Principal windows should be set at 850 millimetres with handle no higher than 1200 mil. Switches, sockets, doorbells, entry systems, TV jacks, etc. should be set 450 to 1200 mil for ease of access. We can get kitchens. There's a company we utilise up in Thurrock for specialist kitchens. So again, it's something we can offer if you so require. Now, just a little bit of additional, take into account the wheelchair and the scooter storage. So if somebody's got an electric scooter, power chair, whatever, they need somewhere to keep it and charge it. So allow 1100 by 1700, including a power point for the charger. Allow for provision of a through-floor lift. An area should be provided of the potential for a through-floor lift. It can be used for storage. So allow 1100 by 1650, just so it's future-proofing the house. Each landing must have a minimum of 1500 mil clear turning circle in front of each lift door. So bear that in mind when you're doing your designing. As stated, this is a very basic overview of the 60-page document M regulation. I have given you an insight into what to allow for in a private dwelling, whether design and build or to adapt. Now, if it comes to the next one, and this is the last one. So how can Caretech actually help assist? So we can help you with project design, again, with the support of your occupational therapist. So we make sure we get the long-term solution. We can do architect drawings where they're required. We can do all building work. We can specify the equipment and give you costing of the equipment. And we can supply you beds, baths, level access, bathrooms, toilets, ramps, overhead and mobile hoists, changing tables and plinths, stair lifts, through-floor lifts and platform lifts, which we'll go on to in a minute. Have you been demonstrated the platform lifts or the free-floor lift?
A little bit, but not.
A little bit? Okay, we'll just wander outside then and just... I've got one more line, hold on. Okay, so we'll finish off in there. So we're going to go and have a quick look at some stair lifts and some free-floor lifts. And should you require any advice or costings on any adaptation or any new building requirements, please give us a call. So we're specialising in making the housing accessible.
So we'll start with the curved stair lift, designed for use where there's a door at the bottom of the stairs. It's fully integrated, all powered options, including the hinge.
So you've got a doorway at the bottom of the stairs. That's the ideal, isn't it?
All the latest stair lifts are fitted with both remote call stations, inbuilt joysticks. They're also fitted with emergency stop buttons, safety edges around the stair lift. In the event of any obstacles being in the way of the stair lift will just stop. On this particular model, we've got powered footrest and powered swivel. When the stair lift gets to the top of the stairs, the chair will... It can be programmed to do so. Yep, it can be programmed to. It can also be programmed to turn during movement. Not this particular one, but they do a stand-up variant. This particular model is also programmable to turn during transit. So if you've got narrow staircases, the chair will turn to accommodate the limited space, which in turn will move the user's knees around, reducing the width required to travel the stairs. or a narrow staircase. You know, if you've got a really narrow staircase, sometimes even standard height users struggle. So it allows that inbuilt facility. And then we've got the standard curve. We featured it with an overrun at the bottom of the stairs, which just allows the user a little bit more space to get in and out of the lift, as opposed to getting off quite close. Again, all fitted with wireless call stations, user-friendly controls, safety belts, safety edges, and emergency stop features. This particular model also features an audible buzzer. So if they've got sort of visually impaired residents within the property, they can hear that it's transiting across the stairs. This particular one, you will probably see the power swivel option a little bit better because of the staircase type.
When you get to the edge and you wait for it, roller coaster.
In turn, obviously, the power swivel relieves the need for a user to actually manually turn the chair around, allowing for an easier and safe descent. It also works well if there's two users of the stairs. Powered swivel means that the user can call the lift down with the remote, whereas if it was a manual swivel and the user had left the chair turned, you'd have to go up and move the chair. Whereas you can just be at the bottom of the stairs and just call the lift down, and it will return the stair lift into a sort of a position you can get past. You can leave it at the top of the stairs then, fold the footrest up, and it allows safe access, or again, if a user needed to use it, it would then come all the way down. All the stair lifts we supply are all battery powered now as well. There used to be a big thing about mains powered. None of them are mains powered anymore. So again, you can use them in the event of a power failure. They go to sleep themselves. So if the power's cut, it will alarm for a minute. After a minute, it goes into standby mode. It obviously stops the alarm, but also saves battery power.
And they're available in different colours.
Different colours. You've got your swatches for your different fabrics and your rail choices to suit different staircases. There are different seat options as well. That's probably the most common one, the style seat, but they do a smart seat. They do an XL seat as well. Just gives a little bit more room. And then we've got quite an innovative one. Now this is available in fixed or slide track formats. This one showcases the slide track, but the tracking is the same on the slide track as the fixed track. Again, designed for use where there's a doorway. This one has the benefit of being able to be fitted if there's a doorway top and bottom of the stairs as well, because the rail actually retracts up and down the stairs as the lift moves.
Ah. Mm. There's always one, isn't it? I'm normally at a funeral or something when that happens. That's a unique to the handicare range.
It is, yeah, it's the only one on the market that makes a sliding rail. A lot of places or a lot of manufacturers, in fact, all of the manufacturers offer a hinge, manual or electric variants. Yes. Never been wall mounted. Yeah. Yeah, even the old AC ones are all floor mounted. They give the illusion of being wall mounted with the stanchions, but no, they've never been. This is the residential elevator manufactured by Pollock in the UK over in Ireland. It's a very nice, sort of very aesthetically pleasing lift. What they do also have now, which isn't fitted to these, is their Alexa control. You can stand inside and say, Alexa, take me upstairs.
That's good.
And you get in it and it will take you upstairs.
My Alexa.
You'll be shouting at it inside too, yeah.
Other options are you can have a nice colour screen, which is in the back. It tells you exactly what the lift's going. It's got a nice inbuilt car remote phone. So in the event of it failing mid-lift, you can pick up the phone and call. You can also get ambient mood lighting. So for users that need ambient sort of lighting for the sensory reasons, that's available as well. Again, in-car controls and very nice wall-mounted controls. Because of the safety aspects within the lift, they're not pressed to run. Not press and hold, they are pressed to run. Press it once and the lift will travel.
I didn't realise that.
Both models are traction lifts rather than hydraulic, so there's no need for hydraulic pumps, rams, pressure lines. It's literally traction. It also means in the event of an emergency, it can be lowered on batteries, whereas a hydraulic lift, you have to physically be out of the lift to pull a release lever. So much quieter. Not in that one. That's more of a seating stroke standing lift. That's sort of, you know, it's like the Rolls Royce of residential elevators. Effectively, it comes in that size and that size only. The through the floor lift, no, it's not designed. None of the through the floor lifts are designed for use with carers. They're all one person use.
What about as a child?
Still one person use, purely because of the weight and the way they're designed. The residential is designed for a seated or standard individual. The through the floor lift is designed for someone seated or in a wheelchair. It's not designed for anyone to be standing within the lift.
What is the weight?
Depends on which model you buy. They go up to 450 kilograms. So you factor in your wheelchair, it's still quite a large person. There are different options. You can have auto door or you can have a manual door. This particular model we fitted with a manual door just purely because we can showcase both options. This one just manually opens and closes. Whereas the through the floor lift that we're going to go and look at is a powerful door. So again, this is the one that you'd fit a wheelchair into really. And this has got, again, it's got all the options. It is on a timer. It's also fitted with an anti-crush door. So in the event of a child or a user becoming in the way of the door, it will never hurt anyone and it will always back away. So they are, again, very safe, very well. If the wheelchair user is not quite in there and his foot's in the way, there's never any risk of any. On the way up and on the, and it's again featured across both models. We can go through some of those features now. They are all pressed to run, purely because of the safety aspects that are fitted. Safety edges all the way around the lift. It's as easy as that. There's no pressure involved in any of it. All the way up to the top, it will be covered by safety devices here and in here, and they work in both directions.
So as soon as you put your hand
Yeah, I'll put my fingers up there. You know, you don't do anything. It's literally. That's what happens when I fitted it. But no, you've got the same here as well. So if there's anything ever in the way downstairs, the safety edge is fitted all the way around purely. Foot was there.
We know that. You're not the rubber at our shoulder.
You had the same when the desk was there. 14 millimeters is the tolerance level. Oh, less than the width of your finger. Yeah, they're set up really well, and again, there is just no pressure involved. You know, that could still go up before it's activated. There's never any risk of injury as a result.
Make sure you get service properly.
There have been incidents where they've not been, and you know, injuries have occurred as a result.
Do you service like how it lifts the wheelchair back to vehicle?
We can do loads of tests on
Again, this particular model is fitted with a seat. So if there's a seated user that at present doesn't need a wheelchair, it also future-proofs it. The seat can be folded up and allow use for a wheelchair user as well. All connected into fire alarm systems. So in the event of a fire alarm or fire, the lift will down power. Beauty about the traction lifts and the cables is in the event of an alarm, it will still continue to travel up or downstairs. If you're mid-travel and you're going up, it will complete the travel and seal the aperture, allowing minimum fire regulation times, same as your plasterboard would.
And something to bear in mind is that there are lifts out there, especially a particular one which advertised everywhere, which is the stilts lift. It does not meet the regulations when it comes down to fire. So housing associations won't buy them because it doesn't meet regulations.
Yeah, there's not the certified time to allow sealant. These, once they're shut, fire breaks all around, you've got a minimum of 30 minutes before any smoke or fire is going to come through. They've been tested in scenarios for up to 3 hours.